Welcome back. We'll be starting the newspaper reviews with The Nation. Major headline, or is it major? Economy on the right path, says Edu. Government to unlock huge stranded assets to boost financing liquidity. This is a picture story here. A vision comes true as Buni scholars return home to contribute to Yobe's development. 233 students selected competitively from Yobe's 17 local government under Buni Foreign Scholarship Scheme, BFSS, to study in India. Council autonomy, constitution for rework, says Akpabio. Red alert in Edo 24 hours to election, poll materials and councils. Tinubu shelves 79th hunger for domestic challenges. Governor First Lady Associates celebrate Hamzat at 60. What stories do we have in The Nation?
Okay, I have our president has shelved the 79th United Nations General Assembly, known as UNGA, in New York. So he will not be attending this event, but he will be represented by our Vice President, Kashim Shettima. His spokesperson says that the president, who returned to the country last Sunday after his trip to China and the United Kingdom, is staying back to focus on domestic issues and address some of the country's challenges, especially after the recent devastating flooding. So, I understand, required to understand that. So our vice president will be there, but there's a statement that would be read, there, and it's called, sorry, I don't know why, I missed that somewhere, I skipped it somewhere. But our vice president would be reading that national statement the high-level general debate with the theme, leaving no one behind, acting together for the advancement of peace, sustainable development, and human dignity for present and future generations. So that's the theme for this year's UNGA. So the Nigerian envoys will be there, businesses are there, marketing, the country's abundant opportunities at the General Assembly, businesses, corporations, all those who will be there are encouraged to take advantage of the roundtable conversations that will be holding there. And the Consul General of Nigeria in New York, Ambassador Abubakar Jita, in his welcome address said Nigeria's strategic location, abundant resources, dynamic population, and commitment to reforms has positioned us as a prime destination for investors. He says Nigeria is not just an opportunity, it's a gateway to the future of trade and investment in Africa. Of course, we're putting our best foot forward. Yeah. And we hope good things come out of this.
So I have the economy on the right part, according to Edu, said the federal government no longer depends on the Central Bank of Nigeria, that's the CBN, to fund these emerging obligations. This is the Minister of Finance and Coordinating Minister of the Economy, Mr. Wale Edun, was saying this yesterday, and he attributed the feat to fruits being yielded by ongoing efforts to improve efficiency and ramp up revenues. So the minister said the government has exited the use of ways and means advances for meeting emergency or financing obligations, a practice that has been rampant. Ways and means, according to their explanation, are loan facilities granted by the Central Bank of Nigeria as a lender of last resort to the finance the government during periods of budget shortfalls. So according to Edu, he said that the fiscal measures being implemented by the government has recorded a 100% increase in revenues, particularly the domestic components, which underline improving efficiency due to the application of technology to the government management. So he spoke in Lagos at the Access Bank Annual Corporate Forum 2024. The theme was Nigeria's economic rebirth, hopes and implications. And he said they fully supported the efforts of the financial management team to put in place a world-class treasury management system that ensures that the country's finances are managed in efficient ways. And he said the government was working to plug all loopholes and optimize Nigeria's financial potential by ensuring that the country's sovereign assets are fully harnessed for growth and development. Went ahead to talk about the fact that by 2026, we'll be seeing, some of these, we'll be reaping the fruits of some of these policies and what they are doing so far, how inflation has, is reducing, the economy is going up by 3.5%.
They should just support Nigerians to survive.
Yes, we are waiting to see how it trickles down to the poor person out there, to the masses out there. That's when we feel that, okay, the work you're doing, we are having the benefits on ourselves.
Okay, so happy birthday to the, happy 60th birthday to the Deputy Governor of Lagos State, Dr. Obafemi Hamzat. They said he will be making history as the longest-serving deputy governor of Lagos State.
Wow.
And they said he rose to political fame leaning on his solid background. Family connection also became an added advantage as he climbed the ladder in the corridor of power. Brilliant, gifted, versatile, and serious-minded. He has the knack for details and objectivity as a scholar, technocrat, and now as a politician and public officer.
Happy birthday.
That was yesterday, right?
Yes, it was yesterday.
So when they say all these accomplishments and achievements at the political level, for me, it was just, I want to take it straight because for me, it was personal, like, this is a gentleman, like, gentleman to the core.
Yes.
And he's not involved in politicking. Maybe that's why he's the longest-serving deputy governor, because most of the other deputy governor, he does his work, and he represents that position well.
And I was going to say, sir, you are the youngest looking 60-year-old.
Yes. You know, a lot of them don't look like.
Honestly. Okay, are we moving on now to the punch?
Yeah, I was going to take the story about police. See me, I've just said celebrity governor, I've forgotten deputy governor. I was going to take the story about police. The IGP has redeployed. They've been a bit of redeployment within the police force, and according to the PRO for the Nigerian police force, he said that this posting changes are strategic in putting right people. He says strategic managers reflecting the mission of the IGP to reposition the police force and ensure maximum utilization of human resources available to the force. Most importantly, they've swapped from Rivers State. The Commissioner of Police in Rivers State now has been moved to FCT, and the one for, what was the other? The one for Delta has been moved to Rivers. So they did that rejigging and then moved some other CPs around different states. I know when this redeployment takes place, it will shock people into a bit of inconvenience in the beginning, but in most cases, it brings about better service to the
no
citizenry.
complacency. Yeah, amazing. So the punch, I think we'll just take the headlines and then we'll go on a short break. Military man states boundaries. EFCC goes after vote buyers. This is the major headline. Security agencies in show of force. Government declares holiday. Materials arrive 18 local governments. INEC upbeat of success. Damagun 4 governors back weakest support for PDP chair. Dangote officials, refiners tackle marketers over imported PMS. Farmer header clashes. Federal government panel recommends open grazing ranching. Address ticket refunds in 24 hours. Federal government tells NCAA. Lagos Cleric abductors demand 30 million ransom. FX crisis, PZ Kuson to sell Nigeria subsidiaries. Should we do one story before we go?
Okay, if there's time. So the National Examination Council, that's NECO, has announced on Thursday that it will be inviting and interrogating the management of 40 secondary schools across 17 states for, guess what? Alleged mass cheating.
Mass cheating?
Yes, this year's senior secondary, this year's SSC. So the NECO Registrar, Professor N30m disclosed this at a press conference in Minna. He announced that 8,437 candidates were found to be involved in various forms of malpractice compared to over 12,000 in 2023. So there's a 30.1% reduction, but there is allegations of mass cheating across countries, across schools. So these schools would be invited, investigations will be carried out, and whatever it is that they are found guilty of, they will face the consequences. Even not just the schools, supervisors too, invigilators, sorry, that's what they call them. There's some that are facing...
They're complicit?
Yeah, well, yes, for all sorts of poor supervision, aiding and abetting, abscondment, extortion. Guess what? Drunkenness. I wonder what's happening. Anyway, so all these people will be brought forward and they'll be dealt with accordingly.
Yeah. All right, let's take a breather here. When we come back, the newspaper reviews continue. Stay with us.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.